Greetings, everybody. Welcome back. We had a couple little small technical difficulties jetting in here at the beginning, but we're back. We're back. And let's see. I got to find my web browser view. We got Quint's on and Yates Networks is on. Of course, it's frozen on my system over there, but that's my end. That's not your guys' end. There we are. Funny, it says fellow Jitsier on your screen, but it actually shows his logo on my screen. Very interesting. Yeah, there's some things when I manually switch everybody around, it does that weird stuff, but...
Click on the hamburger menu in the bottom right-hand corner and go to me, and then I enter in Yates Networks, and it adds my logo.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when it shows up on OBS, it actually doesn't show up right.
Oh, okay.
So is does it say Quint now? I fixed it.
Yeah, it says Quint now. Let's see. Here's the challenge I have with the client app is it doesn't automatically change between who's talking. And so I have to manually change it. But when I do that, it freezes OBS temporarily. And so it does weird stuff. So we might actually have to go back to using the web browser instead of the Jitsi app as far as I'm concerned. But we'll get
for Chromium keeps. I don't think I've told you this since I just jumped on kind of late. But Chromium or not Chromium. I reinstalled Fedora. I'm on 33. I did a clean install, so I'm not on the same system as I was before. And the Chromium keeps crashing now. I don't know why.
I thought I might have saw a bug about that.
Yeah.
I thought.
I'm using the free world version of Chromium from RPM Fusion because it has all the codecs and stuff in it. Mm-hmm. But it just it kept crashing. Like every time we were trying to view, I was trying to view audio or load the camera, we just crashed.
All right.
Yeah, let me pull this up here. I'm on a new install, so it took me a minute to get all the passwords and stuff. I haven't signed it. I don't think I've actually opened YouTube on this system before.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right, so we're going to talk about search engine review today, look at different search engines. Let me jump in with the comments first, and then... Actually, Mark, how you doing before we get started in on that?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I've had a little bit of a frustrating afternoon, but it'll work itself out. That is... No. Just trying to push through a parts order. I got a custom build I'm doing for a client, so it'll be fun.
This is interesting. OBS is throwing another error right now where if I click on Yates Network's logo to show Yates Network, OBS shows Quint without the camera. If I click on Quint with the camera and go back to OBS, it shows Quint with the camera. So we're always going to be looking at Quint, I guess.
Okay.
That's fine.
Unless somebody else jumps in here with a video camera. But yeah, we got to... I think there's always been a few little quirks and bugs with the Jitsi app. So I think that's probably part of this problem. I think maybe I'll try next week. I'll probably try with the... what is it? The web browser instead. But overall, though, it works much better.
This is starting to feel like when we first went on Zoom for school and everybody was having all sorts of issues. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, except we can figure them out because I got root access to the server. So we can let's try this.
Also, when you looked at Fedora, I haven't watched the video, the Fedora versus Pop! OS. When you looked at Fedora 33, did you install it with ButterFS? Because ButterFS is the default file system now.
I did whatever the default was, so presumably it was, and I didn't notice it. So apparently it didn't make a difference to me as an end user, so okay.
I just upgraded yesterday. Everything's... what's...
Yeah. I think he's jumping
Yates
back.
Network's just disconnected.
I think he's back. You back, Mark?
Yeah, I've been here. I just refreshed the page. Did it show it?
Oh.
Let me see. No, OBS is still showing.
I can log out and log back in real quick.
Don't worry about it. It's
okay.
Don't try and resolve it. Okay, don't try and resolve it.
I will not.
I have.
I understand. That was all I was going to do anyway.
Let's see. Jeffrey, let's see. Web crawler, metacrawler. So I looked at web crawler, metacrawler. I think web crawler is blocked by my network script. So whatever that's worth.
I have to say, I really like Jitsi.
Yeah, it is good.
I'm going to use
Metacrawler,
it as well.
pulled that one up, so we'll have a look at Metacrawler. If there's any other search engines we should look at, let me know. Yes, the kitty's still on vacation. What happens is the kitty went on vacation down in Florida, and he's like, dude, they're opening up. They're not requiring this silly thing, so I'm just going to chill in Florida. So the kitty's just chilling in Florida.
You know, it's really only here that requires masks. Like, if you go anywhere else in Georgia, there's like a sign on the door that says it's optional.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in my town, they've mandated it by the county, and then they issued a $10,000 fine to a church, and so everyone's like, "Oh, gotta stay in line."
Wow.
It's like, guys, you do not realize that this is how socialist takeovers occur, right? Yeah, we need to rise up, kick these guys out and vote them out. And I think I said it on the stream yesterday, I am about to join BLM and start protesting and rioting downtown with them, screaming F the police, because we now have had this week 2 headline articles, police investigating a football party. Yeah. Yep. If the police can't find something better to do than start looking at who attended a football party, I'm sorry, guys. We have serious problems.
Why bother, you know?
Let's see.
ridiculous.
Microsoft
There's Dan.
wants-
How you doing, Dan?
I didn't think you were going to be on, Dan. How you doing? How you feeling? We now have.
Well, if I get my nose to quit bleeding.
Oh, you're bleeding nose.
Ugh.
That's not good.
No, it's been doing it on and off all day.
That's
Do
not
you
good.
have that?
So,
Is that just something you deal with, Dan?
Tom, is there a I'm trying to look at the Jitsi Meet app here. I just want to install it. Is there an RPM pack? Is there like a deb or RPM package, or is it just like flat packs?
I think I'm using the flat pack version. I don't know of any other versions.
I can't find like a RPM package link
Yeah,
anywhere.
there may not be one.
Okay.
Kitty has a pic of Bill Gates, and there's Kitty pics on it. Hey, I have a pic of Bill Gates on my wall now, guys. Put it up. I put up a picture of Bill Gates, George Soros, and Rockefeller all in the same photo. It's glorious. Ricky, how's it going? Biden scooper for sale. Get yours now. Oh boy.
You get a master on chat.
What's
You get a
What's
master in chat.
that? Yes, Hugo Masters in chat. Yep.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Ricky, how you doing, bud?
Invalid user says DuckDuckGo is the best one. All right. Humidity is below 34. There you go.
We got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. He came out.
Yeah. How's it doing, man? I should, let's see. Ricky, do I have you on, Ricky, if you want to jump on, shoot me a message. I think you're on Discord. Shoot me a message on Discord, Ricky, and I'll get you a link to jump on.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Also, I think he has my email too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to jump on, get a hold of one of us, and we'll get you the stream link. So, all right, let's
I'll
go
just
ahead
forward
and
you one.
chat about web browsers, and then we can spend the rest of the time talk about whatever we might want. So let's go ahead and just kind of get a start out. Should we start with the normie browsers, and then go into reasons why not to use them, and then go ahead from there?
Yeah, because that's the
let's
ones I hate.
Did you say naughty browsers?
No, the normie browsers. The normie.
Aren't we talking about
Normie.
search engines, not browsers? You said
Search
browsers.
engines, yes. Yeah, search engines. I'm sorry. We're
Ricky.
talking about search engines. All right.
Ricky,
So here we are.
real quick,
course.
I forwarded you the link. I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
So, all right. So Google, obviously, Google is so used as a search engine that, it's now its own verb, right? We got the verb. Now, what is the first instance of that verb occurring in popular media? I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is Journey to the Center of the Earth, which was what, a 2013, no, 2011 maybe? 2011 maybe film? No, it was earlier than that, 8 or 9. And, they're on the plane, and he's doing something with his phone, right? And it didn't even have a smartphone at that time. It's like a BlackBerry. Like, the guy's like, what are you doing? He says, I'm Googling it 30,000 feet or whatever it was, right? And so that's the first instance I could find in popular culture of Google, the verb Google being used. Does anybody know of any other ones, earlier ones?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. So, of course,
Yeah, it started out in the
sometimes I'll
beginning.
say,
Along with Google, you had Yahoo, and then Bing kind of slipped in there. Then them are the big early three.
yeah, and then the biggest problems for you guys that are still using Google on a regular basis. First and foremost, Google does weird stuff. It gets completely SJW crazy woke. So I just typed in here, men can, and here we go. Men can lactate, men can have periods, men can cry, men can get pregnant. These are the early things that Google wants us to search for with men can. Okay, now, sure, men can cry, but lactate? There's actually some scientific study that says it's possible. Periods and pregnant? No. They actually lack the thing that defines a male is lacking in those two functions, okay? But this is the type of stuff Google does. In addition to that, one of the things, and what's partially at the center of the antitrust part, is that when you go in and search for something on Google, mostly you're going to find stuff that all pushes their own content. So here we are, we've searched for something, and here we have a YouTube song. You can actually search for something, a concept, rather than something as an album. Available on, we do have links to Spotify and Apple and more music services down here, Deezer and iHeartRadio, because it's music. And then YouTube, and then they have, these are like feedback, where is another Google thing. And then we actually get into the basic search terms. Now, if I didn't have some ad blocking systems in my network, we'd see a lot more ads and stuff here that we're just not seeing right here. And one of the things about Google is they are always collecting your data. They're always storing your data. Whether you're logged in or not, they can try it back to IP addresses and things like that. And in so doing, what they start to do is to start feeding you what it thinks you want to find. And so the more you use Google, the less real results you actually get. What you end up getting eventually is you're going to get what they really want you to see. And that in and of itself is a disturbing prospect. Thoughts on Google from the panel?
I just put men can into Google, and I got similar things too. The only one that I got that you didn't get is I got men can't pee.
Men can't pee. Okay.
I don't know. I just had to take a big healthy one myself.
Yeah, yeah. Another one that you find that people talk about as far as filtering out with a political bias, type in, I don't know if you guys can see the very, very top of my screen because of where I cut my browser, but I typed in Hillary, just typing in Hillary Clinton, running mate, age, young, vice president, height, and that's pretty much what we get. So in other words, a lot of just general positive type of stuff. So Google does actually filter search results. Let's look at Donald Trump.
There's a reason why their CEO is at Washington, D.C. right now.
Yeah. So here actually we got very neutral things. Actually surprised by that, but yeah, we do actually get neutral things, which is good. There was a time we didn't. If you did a search once for idiot,
Google doesn't filter results; they curate results.
Yeah. So there you go.
Specifically, what they want you to see.
Correct. Yeah. So in other words, instead of saying here's a list of things that are relevant to what you're searching for, instead of doing that, they say these are the types of things that we think, based on your history of our platform, you want to see. And that is really why using Google is a very dangerous thing. All right. Any other thoughts on Google here before we jump off?
Don't use it.
Pay to play is a. I understand businesses. You got to pony up. I understand pay to play. I'm not totally against it, but Google is really bad. They charge a great deal of money to advertise whatsoever, and the more you pay, the you'll get that rubs me the wrong way. You'll get showed first if you pay more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very expensive. And what it does, the little guys can't compete in advertising, so we have to find other ways like guerrilla marketing and things where we have to find ways around it, because a lot of us can't afford to advertise on Google. And the truth of the matter is people only look on the first page. the first few results or so. Past that, they will not look on it. So it's really hard to compete when it's so absorbently expensive to advertise.
Yeah, and those are some of the chief concerns. Is instead of SEO being something that you do and you get skilled at it pretty much SEO.
Yeah.
This is why I just don't offer SEO services in my web design generally. It's because it's a black magic money game. It's just like whoever throws the most at it does that, and people are still stuck into this mindset that SEO means you got to get your tags right, you got to get your content right. It's like, no, that's not that was SEO in 2012. Okay, that's not what it takes today to get on top of a search engine.
Honestly, now that I see Google now that I see one of Google's suggestions is men can't pee, I feel differently about Google now.
Okay, how are those feelings? Let's just do a little bit of psychoanalysis.
I just don't, because I can tell you that is not true right now, and I think we all know that is not true.
That is a certain state that is in is correct.
I will be fair, though. I did type to say that I typed men can into DuckDuckGo, and I got men can have babies.
Correct. And
that's wrong.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo. We'll get to DuckDuckGo in a bit. We'll see what type of results they get us. Any other commentary on Google?
The thing with Google is I haven't used it in a very, very long time because I've kind of got my Google shield up and I only let through things I have to use, like with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing with Google is every time I search for something with Google, I get suggested junk that's way out in left field that's not exactly what I'm looking for at all. And you have to search. I actually have to scroll down to the bottom to get close to the general item that I'm looking for help with. Because when I'm Googling something, usually it's because I want help with something like a Linux distro. How to fix a broken something in a Linux distro. How to fix my iPhone if the screen goes screwy or something like that.
Yeah.
But I get all this weird stuff right off the top. Like it's trying to sell me something, and that turns me off.
Your iPhone screen not working? Buy a new one.
No, I mean if the settings, like one time the settings went wacko and everything got enlarged, like magnifying.
Yeah.
So there's a setting.
That's how my granddad sets his phone because he can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should turn it back because I can't see anything anymore either.
All right. Next, we're gonna look at Bing.
Bing
Microsoft
bong.
Bing. So it's just rebranded to Microsoft Bing, of course. So Microsoft Bing. Let's see what happens with Men Can and Microsoft Bing. Men can lactate, wear women's jeans, get breast cancer too. So, cry, jump, cook, Kriegel. At least they can't have periods and get pregnant. Let's see if men can't urinate, men can't cry, men can't jump, men can't hold pee. Man can't be abused, men can't be trusted. Ooh,
man can't pee might take you to a medical condition like
Man
kidney stones or something like that.
It might, yeah. Here's Hillary Clinton trial 2020. Is there a Hillary Clinton trial in 2020? I'm unaware of this.
Oh, they're trying to bake her.
Oh,
there's some documents out loose floating around the FBI. They're pretty hot right now.
Is that what Tucker Carlson's looking for documents from UPS or something? I saw something about it.
I don't know which documents, whether it's the Hunter Biden documents that he's looking for or Hillary Clinton, but both of them are out there to be snagged.
All right, let's go ahead and look up idiot and see what we get under images. Much the same images. Very similar images. So I'm glad to see that they're adding a lot of different things in there. So, yeah.
Be very careful.
Yeah,
I think they recently passed legislation where I actually think they changed it with certain search engines. They cannot show adult-oriented images.
Well, that's good.
In search.
I would be okay with that.
So I am too.
Microsoft Bing became big, of course, because it's integrated into Windows. The other thing that they did is if you created an account and signed in, they would give you search credits that you can use if you use their browser for searching, they're going to, give you little feeder pellets that you can use for like gift cards and stuff like that. And so that pushed a lot of people to at least try it out. And then most people are like, it doesn't really matter what search engine I use. And I get free stuff over here. And communism rules, apparently. So, that's kind of what we get. But anyway, there is Bing from my perspective. Anyone want to chime in on Bing?
Honestly, I've never really used Bing just because why would I? If I was going to give my my search data to somebody, it would be Google.
Yeah, they're giving you, the reason they're able to give you money for using Bing is because they're profiting off of your data. I mean, it's Microsoft. That's what they do. Mark or Dan, anybody comments on
Bing? Is for me like down there below Yahoo.
For those,
I almost never use Yahoo,
34%.
so I've maybe used Bing once or twice, and
I think I've used it.
Bing's
I've used it probably
decent.
like once
Bing's
before.
actually not that terrible. I've used it a few times, but it's certainly not my favorite because it's owned by Microsoft. I do like kind of the setup. DuckDuckGo copied Bing with the graphics on the right and the text on the left. I know Tom in the past, he doesn't like that. He likes a more cleaner text-based approach. I really like that. It is something that I've used that Bing does with DuckDuckGo, and I've also, like I say, used Bing a few times. I don't think Bing's terrible, but again, you're going to get the curated results like you do with Google most likely because it's a large mega corporation.
Yeah, and you're introduced to Bing when you first install Windows, and even the older versions of Windows with Internet Explorer, it always gave you Bing as the default browser right out of the box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which for some people, eventually they try it and it turns them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's, I mean, for me, I just think Bing's just another search engine. I mean, I don't have anything particularly negative to say about it other than it's big tech, and I just avoid big tech when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had another one, MNS something, that they had for news.
Oh yeah, like there's
and that
MSN.
was another kind of search thing they had.
It was MSN.
MSN.
In Microsoft Network.
I think is it 2 cows people are asking about? No, not images. I'm still on images. Stop. Search all. We'll see how good these search engines really are. No, that's not it. Is it 2 cows? Is 2 cows? No.
I think
Somebody's
2 cows
listing
is...
something in here. Apparently, I have a very short memory. Swiss cows. That's it. I heard it's 2 cows too.
Back about 8 years ago or older, the search engines used to use a thing called search crawlers. And all their job was to do is to crawl around the internet and get web addresses.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and get into some of these. Now, that's really what the search engines are doing. It's just that Google and Microsoft, they found they can make money if they monetize this. So let's go ahead and see what men can and can't do here. Men can... Hey, we have no men can get pregnant. We have no... Let's see. Men can't get work due to feminism. Men can't. Menu Canteen Sodexo. I don't know. Interesting. Hey, that might be a good one to try out. So they are saying they are a privacy safe web search. I do not know as much. I mean, I've heard of Swiss cows. I do not know a lot about it, but here is an option. Let's see what happens when we search for something, shall we? Let's go ahead and search for something. We're getting dictionary definition stuff. It's number down before we actually get thrown in with the Beatles stuff, so that's good. Anyone else have experience with Swiss cows?
I've never heard of it until you just pull it up.
What language are you using?
What's that? Yeah.
What
language
are you
from
using?
The same company that does 2cows.com?
No, I was just getting 2 cows mixed up with that. Some people are saying Quant and Yandex. Yandex is a Russian search. I'm not going to use Quant. Last time I used Quant on a search engine review, it did show me some nasty pictures, and I actually had to pull the video down and get rid of nasty pictures. So we're not going to go to Quant. If that's your thing, hey, Quant might be your search engine.
Yandex is probably
Well, let's go
shabby.
to DuckDuckGo.
All right. Well, actually, before we get to DuckDuckGo, I have Yahoo. It's the last normie one. I am pretty sure Yahoo is actually the worst search engine there is.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Total
probably
irrelevant
true.
results.
This is the default on Linux Mint, and anytime I'm installing Linux Mint in a VM just to do some testing stuff, and I'll just go in there and just start search stuff up. It's like Yahoo results. It's like, okay, it's the one search engine that, like, nothing they give me is relevant. I mean,
No,
somebody
it's
give me a
terrible.
random search term. Random search term.
It is in their news.
Well,
their
first let's see
news
what
on
men
their
can.
Yahoo site it leans to the left extremely hard.
Okay, so men can cook.
That's
Men
true.
can't pick up chair trick. Okay. Men can have periods. True. Men can masturbate. Wow. Yes, I can do that. Men
Ooh,
can
you almost
menstruate.
slipped.
Woo!
Edit, go.
Men can get pregnant. Men can have babies. Men can give birth. Woo! Yeah, men can do that other thing too, but that's not in the list. Woo! Turning red. All right. But anyway, somebody give me a random search term.
Fedora.
All right. Let's type in Fedora.
Let's see if it gives you Linux or hats.
Fedora, we got steeplers, we got village hats, we got fashionables, we got, hey, fourth
I
link
knew it.
down, we got fedora.org, which is bundled of, let's see, it's like the Fedora Foundation, so that redirects to get Fedora.
Fedora.org is not part of Fedora Project.
I'm sorry, it is get Fedora, I read it wrong.
It's get Fedora.
Yeah, it is. We have a Wikipedia, then we have links to Fedoras over there, and then we actually have some videos which have some Linux distribution stuff on it, so that's pretty good. We got some normie type stuff. Let's see. They're giving us bad YouTube results because one of my Fedora videos is not in that list. Just kind of frightening, but oh well.
I know this is a little bit off topic, but the Reddit page for Fedora is reddit.com/r/Fedora, not / Fedora Project or something else. It's just Fedora. And so they've had issues where people have posted stuff about hats in there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
One of the rules says no hats.
No hats, man.
I wonder what they got for Red Hat.
Yeah. So here,
I think
let's
Red
do this.
Hat stuff is allowed. They just don't want people posting stuff about fedoras.
Okay, we got Red Hat. We got open source technologies. There we go. And then we have the second item is Red Hat news. And then we get this. We get some red hats. Red hats. You know, I'm not seeing, though, any pictures of the most famous red hat ever, but it's okay. So anyway, there's Yahoo. I just always found Yahoo to be fairly useless. And it's like, as I was trying to do it for like really, truly searching up tech stuff that I was looking for, it had like nothing. It was like, okay, this is just useless. I actually had to change the search and the default search engine on a live distribution because Yahoo was so bad. So you guys
Also,
using Yahoo. Why? Tell me why. Why do you do that to yourself?
Why is it the
Keep in
default on
mind
Linux
now,
Mint?
Yahoo is owned by Verizon. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did purchase Verizon.
Why is Yahoo the default?
They purchased
on
Verizon.
Linux Mint?
Verizon purchased them.
Okay, so Verizon purchased Yahoo, and I think
There
it
we
was
go.
because Yahoo actually has some interesting patents. So if you've ever seen the movie, Minority Report, right, with Tom Cruise, and they have, you know, you're going down and the thing scans your eyes, and then all the billboards you see around you are all directly to you. Yahoo has patents for that technology, but they don't have any snowball's chance in Hades of actually utilizing such patents. That's why they were purchased, even when it was going to cost them money in lawsuits for data leakage, because getting a hold of those patents is way more valuable than the crappy search engine and stuff that comes with it.
That is extremely creepy.
Yeah.
But,
Now, the
Tom,
way
I don't
it
think
works...
you heard me.
Oh, no, I
But
didn't.
why is Yahoo the default on Linux Mint?
Probably because they're paying them the most. That's my guess. I don't
That's
know.
about as
That would
bad
make
as
sense.
Session Replay, which every major website
Yeah.
does now.
Yeah,
you
well,
can't find a company that doesn't do session replay.
That's why I have session replay blocked on my network. So if you're unaware of session replay, this is a JavaScript library tool that is integrated into several websites that will literally track everything that you do across the screen. So like if you're filling out a form, you start typing stuff in, it's actually key logging. Even if you're like delete the form, like, no, I don't want to do that, and you just cancel the form, they have already captured everything you were going to put into that form.
Yeah.
That's what session replay does.
Tom's host file, which is on switchedtolinux.com, blocks session replay.
Correct. All of the session replay I think I have like 23 different scripts in there. Oh, you messaged me on Discord. Sorry, man. Didn't see that. Oh, good. That was only a couple minutes ago.
I know they got some on me because I'm sure Dado has some on me, but I feel like Dado's probably a more.
All right. I gotta check this out. Is this really Italian? What did he say? Italian salami search engine? Okay. Toss. You better not be pulling my chain about this, Toss. Oh, he's pulling my chain. There's no Italian salami search engine, man. Toss.
Is there a cannoli search engine?
Oh, let's give it a try.
Ask Jeeves.
Cannoli search engine. Cannoli by Vita. Let's see. No, I don't see a cannoli search engine either. Sad. Yahoo's now going to think I'm into all this kind of stuff. Sleep Guys, Vince is on. Greetings, Vince. How's it going? Let's see. Yahoo search is based on Bing. Okay, so whatever Yahoo is based on Bing. All right, let's get into the privacy ones. Next, of course, on the list is Startpage. This is the one that's kind of shifted back to being my general default. So with Startpage, you get a proxy retrieved Google results. So Startpage is retrieving Google results without giving Google any of your data, nor are you giving any data to Startpage. Of course, they had a potential snafu issue when they were in System 1, which is a very frightening company, invested heavily in Startpage, and that caused some groups like Privacy Tools to delist Startpage for a period of time for investigation. And they did actually release all of the information, and I did talk to some people at Startpage actually as well, where there is no data sharing between them. System 1 does not have any control of what Startpage does. They simply have invested in it. And I asked them, it's like, get me the answer to this. And they actually had to run it by their marketing people to get me the answer, to say, yes, this is what's going on. They're doing it because Startpage is a very fast-growing search engine. They do serve ads. They are not ads that log your location and personal data, but they do serve ads. And System 1 invests in web-based projects that serve ads. That's exactly why they made their investment. So a portion of what the ad revenue goes to Startpage, and a portion of the ad revenue for using Startpage goes to System 1. Mm-hmm. But they do not have any data back and forth. So I have no qualms about using Startpage at all at this point. And so that is that's what I like. So let's go ahead and see what men can do. Okay, men can do all things if they will. Okay, there you go. They can pee and get pregnant. See? Startpage. It's giving us all. All right, let's see what men can't do.
Hear me?
I didn't get
hey,
that
Ricky,
talk
how's
from
it going?
my father.
Yeah, we got you, Ricky. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing really good. I figured I'd stop by, and I don't know if anybody caught the announcement, like maybe 48 hours ago or 24 hours ago in your Discord, but I am officially cured of COVID-19.
Awesome! Congratulations!
Congratulations!
I got my second negative just a few days ago. I should now be immune to it.
Cool. So tell us briefly your experiences with the coof before I get into further here.
Well, basically the first 2 weeks I've had it, I got so severely sick I nearly ended up at the hospital. It was really bad. But basically I just distanced myself from everybody, kept drinking the fluids, eating all the usual stuff, and basically fast forward 2 weeks after the worst part, I started to feel better, and basically I just kept improving over time.
Mm-hmm.
And as of last week, I went to go get my family went to go get tested. Every single one of us is now negative of the virus, including me.
Very good. Very cool.
Congrats. Get out there and
Awesome.
build up herd immunity.
Hey,
Live
good for
your
you,
life.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Live your life, man.
That's right. So, what would you tell people to do, precautionaries or non-precautionaries? Would you be on the camp that says, you know what, let's just go get it in a time we're prepared, or would you be like, hunker down so that you never get it? Despite, I think most people are going to at some point.
Basically, I've had learned a lot from having it. I mean, if you get it, you get it, but eventually you're going to get better. Mm-hmm. Usually, from what I've learned from looking up documents and all that, is it's basically the seniors and the elderly that get the worst form mm-hmm. of it, but the people that are younger, like myself and all of you, we pretty much get the less worse version of it, but we get some nasty side effects from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was pretty much fortunate to not get the worst end of the virus, and I was able to recover really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Awesome.
So this has been the main reason why I haven't recorded those, because I've just been so sick that I haven't been able to function.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're healed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump on to back to search engines. The next privacy-based one, probably even maybe the more famous one, is DuckDuckGo. A lot of people are going to say DuckDuckGo is going to be a really good engine to use. I don't specifically have any qualms with it, other than the fact I just don't generally like the search results I get, which I believe are basically like Bing results. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah, they are Bing results, but honestly, though, DuckDuckGo was the first privacy thing I ever did, probably about 5 years ago now. I switched from Google to DuckDuckGo, and since I've been using it for so long, I've just gotten used to the search results. I can find what I need.
Yeah, one of the negatives that the privacy conscious are going to say about DuckDuckGo is it is still a corporation incorporated in-house in the United States, and that means that the FBI could kick down the doors at any time and grab the hard drives and servers. So the question is, are they actually storing or collecting any data? They say they don't. That has never been tested in any courts. So that is
one of the things that I do trust DuckDuckGo, though, that DuckDuckGo, even though their search engine is proprietary, which I understand that because they have, I think, part of their licensing agreements require that, but a lot of DuckDuckGo is open source. All the little, when you search for something on DuckDuckGo, you know how you get all those boxes, you get a unit conversion box or a calculator or something. Mm-hmm. All of those are open source, which is pretty neat. And then also DuckDuckGo, the mobile app, DuckDuckGo has published on F-Droid, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. They didn't initially, but then somebody put an issue up on their Git, which the mobile app has been open source since the start. It's never had Google Play services in it. And then somebody just put an issue up on their GitHub page suggesting them to add it to F-Droid, and they did. And they were like, yes, this is a great idea. Let's do that. So they really do have a commitment to open source.
And we're talking about the DuckDuckGo browser, right?
I'm talking about the browser, the mobile app.
Okay. Which, of course,
I just like that they have such a commitment to open source, which makes me want to trust them.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good sign. I mean, I would tell somebody, I would way rather have somebody use DuckDuckGo than Google or Bing or Yahoo or anything like that. I just in all of the things I've used, I just prefer Startpage results more. And I trust Startpage. So.
In DuckDuckGo's defense, it is used and packaged with the Tor browser by default.
No, that's Firefox. You're talking about
the Tor
the browser.
package.
The default. So the reason for that is actually that DuckDuckGo is one of the few search engines that works the same with or without JavaScript. And so they have a Tor version of DuckDuckGo as well. Which
the reason I started using Startpage over DuckDuckGo, I was using DuckDuckGo for a while and love it, love it. Definitely my favorite search engine. But I started using Startpage more and more, and I got used to Startpage. I like Startpage, but the reason I did is because of Tom, and I noticed I trust your content. You said that what you basically explained, I think, is what you talked about before, as far as. But I may go back to using DuckDuckGo, given Quint's positive experience with them as well, and use Startpage as a backup. What I do for my clients is I actually put Startpage on there for my clients, or DuckDuckGo, one of the two. And I haven't heard any complaints. They pretty much use it like they do Google and don't care.
Yeah, most people don't even know. So your basic normies, if you got control over their system, go into your parents' houses, just change all their search engines around. I mean, come on, guys, that's the best thing you can do. Ricky.
I've had some experience with DuckDuckGo as well. It's okay for me for false related purposes, but I prefer either one of two things. I either do Startpage mainly, or I do Quant, one or the other. But DuckDuckGo is okay for false web purposes because pretty much basically, since I had a lot of downtime since I've been sick, I've been pretty much looking into more false-related options from alternative2.net. So I've been looking into using DuckDuckGo a lot more. I've also been able to do some other things like getting into stock market, cryptocurrency, that type of stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Other things I will say about DuckDuckGo, though, on the other hand, is it's getting better year after year. But in my opinion, I think it just needs a few more improvements, and then it should be good enough for the masses to use it. But I think
it's
Tom, I would love you to do some content on crypto at some point, just to put it in the back of your brain.
To work on it, I will, but right now I don't. Quint, I think you have some ideas. Good.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Quint, you're on DuckDuckGo. Thoughts?
Okay, so the other thing that Sleepy Eyes Vince just put in the comments here is DuckDuckGo as the bangs on DuckDuckGo. Do you guys know what those are? It's essentially, if you don't, it's essentially a thing where you put like an exclamation point in front of a search result, and you can like do different things. Like you could put, I think if you do exclamation point and then A and then type whatever you want, it'll forward those results to Amazon. So you could look up something on Amazon.
Yeah,
I really like that feature. I actually use it for Google, which is exclamation point G. When I need to search something on Google, I just do exclamation point G and then type what I need.
I never heard of such a thing.
That's pretty much the way I use when I have to search Google. That's pretty much how I do it. It's a really neat feature. It's not really something that's talked about that much, but it's a neat feature.
We can get into a little bit of that in a bit, but you can actually on most search engines, you can actually add those automatically to Firefox. If you go into your change search settings and you see the keywords over here, which I have something set up there. But you can actually add your own keywords and your own meta keys and things. So some of them will support them, some of them will not. Some of them you can do some custom stuff. And I learned about that this week, and we'll get into why I did that a little bit near the end. But yes, that is a very good, valid point, is that many search engines do build those things into it for that reason.
And I'm trying to think. There was one other thing I was going to say about. This was more about why I don't use DuckDuckGo versus Startpage. It's because even though Startpage, the results are a bit better. The thing that I hate the most about Startpage is that when you click on a link, it opens in a new tab. I hate that because I hate having a ton of tabs open.
Yeah, I love
it's
that.
Just little. It's little things like that is why I don't like it. I also didn't like the interface too.
Yeah, and I think that both of them, the interface keeps on changing.
The DuckDuckGo interface isn't horrible. I don't like the start page interface.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo interface used to be horrid. That was really the reason that kept me from using it for a while. But they've greatly improved it. Dan, did you have anything else to add to DuckDuckGo?
Yeah, it's great. Everybody should at least try it once.
There you go. Yeah, throw it on there and give it a test. All right, anything else on DuckDuckGo?
Startpage or something else. Come on.
All right. Ecosia. This one helps people plant trees, apparently. There is some... I've talked about this a little bit in the past. Basically, what they do is it's not like every time there's a search they're committing to planting a tree. It's every batch of searches they throw money from the revenue that they make into a fund to plant trees. But that's really what their goal and their mission is. So if you're into green technologies, Ecosia is a good place for you to look into.
I do have a funny thing to note about Ecosia is that they use Bing for their results, and Bing only uses about 40% of renewable energy.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. There's funny.
Think about that.
It
really just doesn't seem like it just...
You can actually go into and look up how the companies and stuff functions. See, we do get there, and they explain here. You search the web, we plant the trees where they're needed the most. So they actually have a whole thing about it. So you can actually go in, see the information, and you can actually download their funding and financial reports. And so they're very transparent about what they're doing, and that's the good thing about Ecosia.
Yeah, you can kind of think about it like this. With all the wildfire force they have out west this year and the past years, that's probably a good thing that them trees get replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just the thing that the reason why I don't really use it is, number one, I don't want to be profited off what I search for, which that's a very Googly, more monopolistic thing. And number two is that the renewable energy thing, where really only 40% of the energy that's used to power the Bing servers is renewable energy. Mm-hmm. And so you're still hurting the environment, even though you're planting trees. So I just don't think that's a good option.
So exactly. A little bit of hypocrisy under the hood is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you look it up, I don't remember where I saw that, but I think it was somebody who did a review of Ecosia said that Bing, which is where they get their results from, only uses like 40% renewable energy for their data centers.
Absolutely. All right, any other thoughts on Ecosia?
I've never used it, so I'll take what
I've never used it, but I did see your video on it, and the one thing I don't think I'll ever understand is why make a search engine that essentially allows you to plant trees.
Because some people care about such things.
True. All right. True.
Now let's get into crawlers and things. So we got metacrawler, web crawler's another one. Web crawler appears to be blocked on my network. So what the crawlers are going to do is these guys will collect search results from a couple different places, or they're basically like old school search engines. They just crawl around the world and find stuff. Let's see if there's no search terms there that autofill. So let's just type in something, see what we get on something. All right, so, whoa, there's some not nasty stuff, I think. There's Beatles song. So apparently they're just doing bad ads. Apparently that's what it was, just bad ads. Play girl games free online. Ugh. No, thank you. So their ads are a little bit spotty. Something to keep in mind. But the rest of it, we're getting fairly similar results. Let's do a hard searchable. There's Amazon. There's ads. Best a man can be. There you go. So we're getting a lot of different search stuff. Oh, there you go. Search terms related to men can have babies, men can have periods too, men can wear women's clothes, men can get yeast infections, men can menstruate. Okay, there is nothing scientifically accurate about that sidebar. Comments on Metacrawler, anybody?
I just don't understand why are people searching for that?
I don't know if people are searching for that as much as that's what people want people to search for. So But yeah, you do have your web crawlers. So there you go. That's our example from that. Now, the last one I want to talk about is SearX. So SearX is actually a self-hostable option for a meta search engine. So what the meta search engines are going to do is they're going to take the search term and proxy it out to a variety of different search engines and then return the results. So you can get the list of public instances over here. So head on over here, and this will just kind of give you a list of different instances, and it gives you kind of their ratings and stuff. So let's go to meta search. There you go, meta search.
I'm going to grab some Oreos. I'll be right back.
So, all right, man. So there you go. There's search for something. And then what you can see is we're getting results from Google, from Yahoo. And so that's kind of where they're returning their results from, is this one set up to return results from Google and Yahoo. Now, what you can do is, you guys may not be able to see it, but it's up on the top of the screen. There's a preferences bar. And you can actually come in here. And then what it's going to do is you can customize the engine for yourself. And then when you customize the engine for yourself, as long as you store that cookie in your browser, then you'll come back with the same thing. So depending on how they have their instance configured, it could be everything from the formatting, the methods, even the search engines itself that's being used. So here, if I want to say I don't want to see anything from your normie guys, but I would like to see your DuckDuckGos, I can go ahead and turn off Google. Let's turn off Yahoo. We'll turn off Yandex. Turn that one off. We'll turn on Startpage, and we'll turn on DuckDuckGo. And now if we go back and do our search, you got to hit the save button. Now if we search for something, now what we actually are going to get is it's going to return us results from Startpage and DuckDuckGo instead. So this guy here, you can kind of choose your search engines, and then as you're entering in data, then it's going to strip any tags or anything like that so that you can go ahead and set up the browser the way you like. So I wanted to experiment with this, so I set up my own self-hosted instance, and so this was actually mine running on my own server. I set mine up by default to use this code. I blocked out all of the normie search engines. So by default, when you use my test instance here, it's going to only return Startpage, DuckDuckGo instances by default. Again, you can head on into your preferences. You can turn these engines on or off. So you can see I've turned off Bing. I've turned on DuckDuckGo. I've turned off Google, Yahoo, things like that. So I've turned all those big guys off. Where's Google? Did I completely remove Google? I didn't think I removed Google. Am I just not missing it? Maybe I actually completely removed Google from the config file. If I did, it was actually by accident. But I did turn off, I know I turned off Bing and things. So you can choose where you're pulling files from. You can choose where you're pulling images from. News, science. So you can do a whole lot of different things on here. Here's your different plugins. And the one thing that I could not quite figure out is why is it setting a Google Analytics tag? This is the one thing I can't quite figure out, but it is. But everything else, this is all set up. So when you land here without any cookies, then you're actually going to basically get this basic default. I'm sure I can swap out this logo and stuff. I just haven't given it a try yet. But from here, we can actually get in here and search for whatever we want, and it's going to search across a wide variety of search engines. And then I know it's not actually taking and storing any data because my server is stripping everything out and then sending out via proxy to all the other servers. So it gives you an extra layer of privacy to use a SearX server. And then you can configure it the way that you want it to be configured. So I don't know if anybody has experience with SearX or anything like that.
I've used SearX, I think, even once or twice, and it wasn't really for me.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of depends on how you have it set up and configured, I guess.
I've never heard of it.
That's a brand new one to me, too.
Did I find one? Nobody get Quint. Did you hear about it or not?
I've heard about SearX before. I think because E uses it as their search engine.
Who does? Oh, E.
E.
Okay.
EOS. They use that as their search engine. I think they have their own instance.
Okay. Yeah, it's I actually found setting it up to be fairly simple. There's a few things I had to work on, and sorry, Quint, I did set it up so it opens up in a new tab, and I have to tell you that was a pain. There's something about the config file that didn't want to take, so it does set up in a new tab.
I'm really weird about having tons of tabs open. That's why I don't like that.
Yeah, but you can see you can come into here and you can come in, results a new tab, you can turn it off. And then you can save it. And then as long as you don't delete the cookie, it'll come back in. It will not do that. So that is
I'm limited to 8 tabs per browser.
Yeah. I just, the reason I do it is because I want to be able to get in there if I'm searching for something. Mostly I do this from researching code clips, where I want to open up multiple things all at once and keep the original search results open so I can see what I've already looked at and stuff. That's why I like the tabs. The other thing I can't figure out how to do is if it's set as your default search engine, I cannot figure out how to send that search result into my system. So if anybody watching knows how to do that, can help out with that, that would be cool. Let's go ahead and check in on comments, and then we'll see if there's anything else. And we're coming up on 8, so we should probably wrap it up. Let's see. Sleepy Eyes Vince says Dogpile. I tried to pull up Dogpile. Apparently, it's blocked by my script. So, Ask, worst search engine ever. That's a contender with Yahoo. I don't know who's worse, Ask or Yahoo.
Probably Ask.
Ask. I've used them before, and it just doesn't work as good as the rest of them. It was the alternative until DuckDuckGo really started getting going, and then I just switched over to DuckDuckGo.
Have I tried Swiss Cows? Yeah, we pulled it up. We pulled Swiss Cows earlier. Let's see. DuckDuckGo sucks when you're not searching in English. Okay, I guess if you're not searching in English, DuckDuckGo might suck. Hey, it's United States. It's from United States. Don't you know that there is nothing but English? Because here in the United States, that's the way we are. Epic Search. They're saying Epic Search is the worst. Search for Epic Search. Epic Search, is it .in? Ooh, there we go. Epic Search. Powered by the world's leading search engines. Let's see what men can do over here. Men can. Translation into Russian. Men can. Yes, men can have periods, and we need to talk about them. Okay, then. I've never had that problem. Oh, boy.
I was wondering why I was so moody all the time.
I'm telling ya. Telling ya. All right. DuckDuckGo really sucks if you search in other languages, for example, with Dutch. All right. Ignite says, hello, guys. Well, greetings. What about rebranded adware search engines? Like average... AVG Secure Search. Huh. I've not used that before. All right. Any other comments on search engines? I guess at this point...
Not really, no.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're kind of falling in. We're like over the 1 hour mark, so maybe we'll go ahead.
The selection is yours.
Say our final.
The thing with the I'll just say something quick about the AdWords search engines is typically something that's installed from like a Chrome extension or something. You know how people just install random web browser extensions that are malicious. That's typically what it's from. It changes your default search engine, but then it just forwards like the results to like Google or something.
After it strips all of the data and stores it.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Let's go with final thoughts here. Ricky, what are your final thoughts?
I would have to say pretty much out of all the search engines that I have experimented with over the years, I would say the 2 best, in my opinion, that are pretty much very complete and pretty much, in my opinion, privacy-oriented to an extent, would be Quant and Startpage.
Okay, so Quant and Startpage. All right.
Are we taking a poll?
Sure, go for it. Dan, go ahead. We'll go ahead and go with you.
DuckDuckGo and I guess Startpage.
DuckDuckGo and Startpage. All right, Yates.
Startpage and DuckDuckGo.
Startpage and DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Not
Yeah. I go with Startpage and DuckDuckGo myself. So
I would say the same thing too. Startpage and DuckDuckGo.
yeah, generally that order. So if I'm searching for something, I try Startpage first. If I can't find it, go DuckDuckGo. If I can't find that, then I sell my soul to the devil and enter my search term into Google.
Typically, I do DuckDuckGo first, and then I would just go to Google. But I should probably look at doing Startpage. I need to figure out if there's a.
Yeah, Startpage gives you Google results just without giving your data to Google.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said privacy wasn't a little extra work.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about experimenting with the search engine, with the SearX instances. You know, it's kind of interesting. I have not set it as default yet because I cannot get URL bar searches feeding into the search engine, and I need to get that figured out. But that's that. All right. Let's see. I guess my only final words. We will be back to live streaming on my other channel tonight. We skipped last week because of the presidential train wreck. But this week we'll be back. We are starting a new book. We're going to start opening up the book of Hebrews. So if you are interested in such content, you can head on over to my channel for that. And I dropped the link there in the show notes. Well, in the comments, I guess. So let's see. Sleepy Eyes Vince says Google, then DuckDuckGo, and then you run. Oh, no. Startpage and DuckDuckGo for Paul. Atlantis as default. Ubuntu won't let me install it. What? Fedora Mate comes with Atlantis as default? Interesting. Search over Linux.
Fedora should come with Google by default. Every time I've installed Fedora, it has Google by default.
Yeah, maybe there's something different in the Mate.
I don't think so, because they're all made by the same people maintain everything. It says the default homepage is start.fedoraproject.org, and then it searches with Google.
Okay. Let's see. For Daybot says Startpage is Google saying Startpage is better than. It's like saying Google is better. No, you must have missed the beginning as we were going into all the different stuff. The difference is that Google has a bunch of results, but then based on the IP address, the profiles, and the things you've previously entered, it feeds you results that it thinks you want to see. Google, outside of that crazy algorithm, is actually pretty good as far as its reach and its scope and its ability to search for terms. The problem is they don't feed you what you search for, they feed you what it thinks you want to see. Startpage gives you the Google results without Google's filter. And that means it gives you unfiltered Google results. That is why Startpage is better. Let's see, DuckDuckGo, and then Quant with Libre Wolf browser as Waterfox is going down the toilet. Yeah, Waterfox is swimming down the ball right now.
Yeah, I tested Libre Wolf. It's really good, and also I'm as of right now testing the development version of Microsoft Edge, and I will say I'm liking it.
Cool. Yeah, I tested it out as well. I'm not sure I'm ready to run a Microsoft browser on my Linux box, but
The reason why I would use it is as a browser just for Microsoft stuff. Like if I had to access like Office Online and stuff, that's what I would use it for. Just as a dedicated browser for that.
And that's a very good use case. Or anything else, like if I needed to test something for a client and they're like, it's in Microsoft Edge, I might use it for that.
You could always install like a flat pack or something when it comes out.
I would use it to download Firefox.
Yeah. Startpage was not sold, H. Startpage was invested in. WaterFox sold. WaterFox was acquired by System 1. That's why I think that future versions of WaterFox were going to have problems. But Startpage was not sold. They were invested in by the company for a split on their ad revenue.
Is Startpage
out there to get?
What? Dan, go ahead.
WaterFox is still out there if you Google it or DuckDuckGo it or whatever. It does go to a page, but I think you're going to get a System 1 version.
Yeah, and what you want to do is you want to go down into System 1, and if you never read any other privacy policy in your life, read that one, because it is going to scare the hell out of you. It literally is a privacy policy that says, yes, we collect data, we collect everything we can about you, and then we buy extra information from data conglomerates about you and feed that into the profile we have about you, and we use that to sell your profile to people. That is literally in their privacy policy at System 1.
Sounds so identical to Microsoft.
Yeah, they just don't couch it in quite those words. Thank you, Paul, again for that super chat. If you didn't hear me the first time, the Nigerian prints indeed containers are fantastic. Awesome. Oh, at the Nigerian prints, do we have a Nigerian prince here? We do. Nigerian prince. Where's my $100 million? Nigerian prince. I've been waiting for that money. I sent you my $1,000. Where's my $1 million payout? Man. All right.
No, my mother was talking about the first time she got one of those scam emails, and she was just like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
Like, if you think about it,
Nigerian
it
prince,
makes no sense.
Yeah, dude, I'm whiter than a white albino. I am no way related to Nigerian prince.
I sent the email back and told them to contact the State Department.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I need to send $1,000 more. All right, Nigerian prince, I'll send you $1,000 more.
Oh,
am I sending it to you now? Do you want them in Amazon gift cards this time, or do you want those in iTunes gift cards this time? I think it was iTunes last time, right? You want the Amazon this time, I think. Can you get tracked on SearX if you're the only one who uses an instance? The way it works is it scrubs all the data out, and the server itself does not store any data. And so when you are using it, it's basically scrubbing all the data out and just dropping it, so it never stores anything. So no, it'll be very hard to track you if you're on SearX. All right, we're going to need to wrap this one up. I think we've said our final words, but any final words, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
All right. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We will be back tomorrow. Is the weekly news roundup. So join us tomorrow for the weekly news roundup, everybody. And we will catch you guys then.